you probably get it. There you go. It's stating the policy about recording. So if you agree. Yeah. All right. So this is what I sent you earlier. And this is what the admin workspace is intended to do. So there are 4 steps that, well, on this sheet there are 6 steps, but there are 5 steps that are unique to Kirky process or profit process, and then there's one in there that's Spokane related. So when we've gone to other packing houses, this is what's been identified as needed in order to balance what Sunkist believe that they shipped and what the pack house believes that they shipped on either a daily basis, a weekly basis, whatever time period it is that you're looking to analyze.
Okay.
Most sites do this on a daily basis. They'll run, say, the manifest or the shipment report, track volumes by varieties and sizes, etc. A lot of them do it in spreadsheets off to the side. So they'll run the reports off of Kirky and then kind of save the data off. I don't know if you do that.
We don't currently.
Okay. All right, so number 1, the Sunkist manifest. So the manifest is generated at shipping. You can also reprint it in the admin screen in case for some reason it doesn't make it from the doc to the accounting office.
Okay.
And again, so this document is basically for an order at that location, what Sunkist believes was shipped and what is owed to the pack house.
Okay.
Okay, and that should match Spokane. Number 2 is the Sunkist shipment report. Again, this is daily, or it's time-based, so you could run it daily, weekly, or whatever period you want. In the workspace, there's actually a screen version. So if you were a pack house that wants to copy the data off the screen and stuff it into an Excel sheet and do some other analysis, you could do that, or you can just print the report and do whatever you need to with it.
I think we just print the report, and then we make sure that we have manifests for all those shipments.
Yeah.
So we know we're not missing one.
Okay. Next up is actually the Spokane process. So with that manifest, you would side by side make sure that what Sunkist believes was shipped and what you're owed matches what Spokane has.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get done today. And like most of the charges came through, it's just for some reason there's a couple of them that did not come through, and I've got to figure that out because the orders are not matching right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we'll get that handled. And next up is the packaging charge table. So this is a listing of packaging charges over time. So this is meant to be a year-over-year look at the packaging changes. So if, say, a bagged item, the cost of that goes, say it was $2 last year, and maybe it goes up to $3 this year, this would show that. And then I believe you can see if you may update your Spokane system with actual costs for the new items.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. So right now this is a call into the I believe it's a call into the sales ops team, parts team, to see what the charge is.
Get the information.
Yeah. So this is the idea here is just to try and make it self-service. You also could call into the help desk, no problem, and continue doing whatever your normal process is. Next up is payment info. So you've got your daily register, your actual register, the corporate fruit pool finalization report, which is basically the effect of pooling, or whether or not you gained or lost on a sale based on the effects of pooling. And then that last one is something that PCI was asking for.
Requested, okay.
Yeah. And then there's a popular one, the Z code remittance activity. So this is basically all charges you would have gotten paid on. So it's the ability to query the system and find any charges over a time period that that you got paid. So pallets from 6 months or something like that.
Okay.
So I'll show you where that is too.
Have they added it already, or are they working on it still?
No, I have that in there. There has been a requested tweak there. I kind of have it just date based. The request was to add a parameter for the Z code.
For the actual Z code, so if you only wanted to know that one, okay.
Yeah, and it's in a grid, so there's not a printed report at this time, but that's coming. It's on the list.
Okay.
Meaning it's on a grid. You can take it to Excel, and I'll show you how to do that. Alrighty, so now I'm going to log in. So here's my login screen. Sorry. When you log in, you would be choosing, I have a lot of groups here. I'm sorry about that. I should have slimmed it down, but you would be choosing the Packhouse admin workspace. And then for Exeter, your association DP is 10100.
Okay.
So you click that and then log in. So I choose the association because some of their houses have lots of locations, and they may need to flag an order for lots of different locations. So it's easier to do it as the association instead of having to log in and out as a specific location.
Right.
All right, so this screen, there's a lot going on here, but I'm going to focus in on the things that we just covered on the Word document.
Okay.
And what I'm doing here is a control Q, which is just query or F4. I'm going to look at the 24th and just hit search. And why did that? There we go. So these are all the orders that were part of the testing. We worked on 23, 24, and 27 as far as the interface goes.
Okay.
But these are all the orders that I'm not sure who shipped them, but who your shipper is. But these are the ones for that date in this end-to-end test.
Okay.
So on this screen, you can do a few things. I'm selected on an order. You can see the Z codes associated with that order. You can see the fruit lines. You can see the pallets. You can, if you wanted to flag the order, you would hit resend to Spokane.
Okay, that's where that's at. Okay.
Yep.
You just highlight it and then click the button.
Yeah, just click that and then click that.
Okay.
You can print a manifest. I'm going to go to screen with this. I can show it. So here's the manifest for that order. You had three fruit lines, your charges, any assessments, and the grand total for that. There's a couple things being added to this. I believe we're going to add the house number to the right of the pickup location. It seems to be a popular request. What else? I think there was one other
house
thing.
Number to the right of the pickup location. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you use house numbers.
Not anymore.
Okay.
We've started using just the Sunkist number, the order number.
Oh. Sorry about that. So that's how you reprint a manifest. So, whoops, sorry. So that should cover number one.
Okay.
For the Sunkist shipment summary report, you could also use this grid if you really wanted to. If you select all the orders and you could see all the quantities, or you can come to the shipment summary grid, or a tab, I should say. And these parameters on the left-hand side were meant to mimic the way the Kirky report runs. So on that report, you can choose all districts or a specific one, tick off the all varieties, put in your ship date. You can narrow it down to a particular order class, and you can do a specific location. So I'm going to do a F4 here, choose the 24th. That's when we did it. I'm just going to hit run shipment report. So this is the grid-based version of the printed report. You have your raw quantities here, standard quantities, and even dollars to the right, and then the rest is kind of debug information right now.
Okay.
This first pivot table, if you will, is a summary totals by raw quantity. So we have it broken out by vowels, domestic, Sunkist grade, and then sizes across the top for a grand total of 69.66 raw. Unfortunately, we did all cartons, so you're not going to see a variation here on standard quantities. In the same layout here on standard quantities. I might be able to show the PCI version. So this is the PCI test. Yeah, there's a slight variation there. So raw quantities and standard, 2910, 2744.
Okay.
Okay. And the next screen, ship summary version 2, is really the same thing. It's the same data behind this pivot table. It's just displayed slightly different. So you've got vowels by location, order class domestic, grade, and then your pack. I don't know if anybody's going to use this screen. We're at the time trying to demonstrate what we could do as far as presenting data to people. But if you don't care about that, you can just print the report.
Yeah, I think it would be useful. I mean, if from our 3 locations, it would break it down by location, by day. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's our shipment summary report. You can see that okay?
Yep.
So we have a listing of all your sales orders, raw quantities again, standard quantities. We go to page 2 here. Then you get totals. District 1, Exeter, valve variety, ship date range, and then a summary by grade pack size, grand totaled. Oh, sorry, summary by domestic and export, grade pack size, and total grand totals, yeah. There is a request in to have a grand total sheet in case you've run over many districts or many varieties. They want there's a give me everything. Apparently the Kirky version of the report does that. That's being added.
Okay.
So that would cover number 2. 3 is the Spokane function. Next up is that packaging charge table. Let's see. Packaging charge table. I moved this, and the last time I had a problem finding it. So packaging costs, yes. So I don't know if you know the name of the Kirky version of this, but apparently it's called the FRI 328-ish. So we just tried to emulate as close as we could to what Kirky did. So I will go back a ways, see what I get. Hit search. So for actually, looks like we did have something going on. So I'll just look at the 72. So on this one, on any grid that you see with these white bars up top, it's just a filter. So you can narrow that down to 72.
Okay.
So what happened here is it looks like our bills and materials probably aged out. So the cost went crazy. But year over year, what you would see here is, and keep in mind, this is a test system. So we weren't keeping up.
Data,
yeah,
right?
We weren't keeping up with the bombs as much as you would normally in a production system.
Okay.
So for instance, this might be 5 or 1/1 of 19, and this could be 1/1 of 20. And so last year you would see the rate at 362, and maybe this year you'd see it at a higher rate of say $5.
Yeah.
So you'd see that move.
Still use the white box filters. Like if you wanted to just see the caras, you could put the cara under brine. It'll get rid of the bloodline, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay. And let me jump to number 6 really quick, Z-code remittance activity. Okay. So that would be here on the right, Z-code history. So as I mentioned, I just have it date-based right now. But that Z-code parameter is coming soon.
Okay.
It should be there by live, actually. This is everything that has occurred for your site. Pop-ups. Your site in testing, yeah. So just like before, if you wanted to see only pallets, you could just look at the pallets. You do get a total down here. If you want to take that out to Excel, what I'm doing here is just click the border, click this border, and I'm going to hit Shift. So I've got all that highlighted. I'm going to do Control C, go to my Excel, V to paste it. Then you can do anything you want. You can start pivoting. I'm sure you know how to pivot.
Okay, so that again, you highlight the first column, hold down the shift key, and then do you move over to the next, while holding down the shift, do you move to the last column that you want and then hit Control C?
Yeah, let me do that again. I'm over here in the Z code history. Whatever column you want to start with, you click that column.
Okay.
So that's left click. I'm going to hold my shift key, holding it down. Click the.
Okay, so you have left click, then hold the shift and go over to where you want to end, the column you want to end on.
Right.
Okay.
Click, left click. Then I let go of my shift key. And I'm going to.
Got that whole area. Control C on. Okay.
Yep. Control C. And all the grids behave like this. So once you do that, you can, again, paste it to Excel and do what you like with it. The key thing here is clicking the border. If you don't click the border, you don't get the headers.
Aha.
So
Can you also use your mouse to highlight, or if you just want a section, or is it best to use the Control C, Control V?
So I'm going to do, so yeah, there's another way to do it, actually. You're right. If I click the top and I just drag my mouse to the right while holding the left button down.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm all highlighted.
And then you could do a right click copy and
right click copy. So without using the keyboard, is what I haven't used the keyboard yet. Paste. Ah. Yeah. Guess that's an Excel thing.
Great. Very nice.
So again,
much better than Turkey.
Yeah. Again, the key there, make sure you grab that those headers.
Okay.
Okay. So next up, number 5, daily payment register, actual payment register, corporate polling report. Now that can all be, and there's actually something else in there. I'm not sure if you use it, but we'll get. So the cash or the payments can be found here on the payment info. And I'm going to hit show AR. So we had a limited test, so there's not a whole lot of entries right here. But what this grid right here is, again, it's a grid version of what you're used to doing. If you're used to getting the daily register printed, this is just a grid version of it. So if you click a row, this is anything that's payable to you for the date of 8/31. That's really what your register is. Likewise, 9/1 and 9/2. So I chose.
So my invoicing gal, she could take this for that particular date and then make sure she's got 3 manifests that match up to those amounts.
Correct.
Okay.
So I chose 8/31, 9/1, and 9/2, and to simulate a payment on 7th. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Again, screen version. If you click the order, you get everything that comprises the gross amount, the assessment, the net due, quantities. So I can see quantities. This is your fruit line, settlement amount. There should be a net. Okay, sorry, net 24,602. And then the charges.
Okay.
So if I want to see that register. I click daily register. And again, similar to what Kirky does, it's going to show you for that day, that due date, 8/31. You are owed 24,000. You've got your gross, your assessment, and net.
For that order, okay?
Yeah, broken out by domestic export. Page 2. Fruit detail, charge detail, Z code detail, and then grand total.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to simulate that I paid it. Okay. So I need to run a process to show that that happened. So we're looking for a payment on the 7th. One moment here. So let's just say it's the 7th and we came in and we want to make sure that Sunkist paid us. So I'll say show AR. That did not work. Hang on. And then one moment. Normally these things would happen unattended, but since I'm having to show things, yeah, I'm having to show things as they're supposed to go, right? So I would, let's see, show AR. There we go. And for some reason I don't have a payment number. Right. Second.
So those were all paid on 9/7, okay?
Yeah, there should be a payment number there. One second here. I'll have to look at that. Let me show you the PCI version. That's what happens when you're doing a live demo. Nope, wrong one. Thought I had. Let me log in as PCI 1 second. There we go.
So that'll put a payment register number out there as the payment comes across.
Yeah. So for them, I had done a similar process. I wanted to show the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. In this case, they have 2 locations represented for the 17th.
Yep.
So for this payment number, this is actually the ACH number off of our financial system. And this is the pay date of 8/24, which was a Monday. When you click one of those rows, you get the payment number show up here. And what you can do then is click shipper payment report. So this would be the final. So similar to a register or the daily, it's going to give you a recap of basically all those.
Of the payment.
Yeah, of that payment. So for them, 18,292. And then you get summarization on your second page. You could also, if you wanted to, take the data out to Excel. There was a request to show the detail by location. There was also a request to roll up the detail by order.
Okay.
Allows you to take it to Excel again.
So you don't have to do the cut and paste deal. There's actual an export AR button.
Yeah.
That will put.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you do automated cash receipts, there's a couple places that do that. If you go here to cash receipts, let me click back here. When you click the I think it's the shipper payment report button, this generates. So there's a site out there that has worked with, I don't know if it was Spokane, they must have been Spokane, to basically take the payment register and generate it into a flat file. So the idea here is that the user would, again, just highlight the data, Control C, go to a notepad. That's what they use. It has to be text. Copy the data in there, save it. They put it wherever Spokane needs it to pick it up, and then the cash gets applied. Likewise, I know you're not a famous house, but there's a
the payment form, so they don't have to do it one by one.
Yep. Yep. Likewise, there's a famous version. I know you're not famous, but it exists.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Back here to payment info. Let me go back on to your site. So next up would be the fruit bowl report. So 2020, we did week 35 vowels. Click. So this is an accounting of whether or not you gained or lost due to the effective pooling. So you have your original shipper price, the amount, an average. Unfortunately, we didn't vary the prices, so you're not seeing a net change right now.
Yeah, but it's just like the Kirky report.
Yeah. Yep. That's the idea. You would also see on the screen if there was a variation in the original versus the average pool price on this grid. And that basically covers the balancing steps.
Okay, seems relatively straightforward. Very similar to Kirky, just different.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of other things in here. We've pretty much focused in on the core things that you're going to need to be able to handle right out the gate. You know.
Yep.
But but we can have subsequent trainings. Do you have any questions, or are the questions from your group?
I don't think so. I think we've been through this a while back, and it's pretty straightforward. I just got to get to the point where my download orders, the real-time download matches what is being sent. So I got to get that figured out. But that's my only hiccup. I think I'm good.
Okay, great. Good deal.
I mean, it does everything Kirky does and for us, and with more flexibility. So I think it'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Appreciate you guys participating. I know it's
yeah, and if we have any questions, we'll get a hold of you.
definitely. Okay. Well, then I guess we can call it a day.
Yep, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, you too.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.